What's going on, everybody? We are live for a few minutes. A lot of stuff going on, but I just wanted to do a quick update since I haven't really done one in a while. Um, Regarding my diet or lack thereof, if you will. Um, as most of you that are following me currently know, that I got on the carnivore, ended up in the hospital because of electrolyte imbalance and low blood sugar. So as I've tried now, it's been 12 weeks today since I got out of the hospital, and I've tried to kickstart the diet several times. So to bring this closer, I've tried to get on the diet, and it just hasn't worked out so well. So make sure this is loud enough. Had a problem in the past with the live streams not having enough volume. So I check this real quick as usual. And so I tried doing this from OBS, and I also tried doing this earlier from my phone, and it did not seem to work out so well. So I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what's going on with YouTube, but it definitely seems like I'm on some sort of a list. Not surprising after all the things that I said about my thoughts on YouTube and their censoring. Microphone volume. Yeah, it should be loud enough. It sure doesn't look very impressive. Oh well, we'll find out. I'll just delete the video if it's not good. But so I'm 12 weeks today since I got out of the hospital. I was only in it one night. It wasn't like I was in there for long, but it was $3,000 worth. But that's another story. So my pain level has been bad for that entire 12 weeks, but it's gotten really bad. So much so that a week ago I had to make a quick overnight trip down to Central Florida, and I was really hurting, and to the point that I was starting to take half a Percocet, every now and then, which is, if I'm taking that, it means it's bad. So long story short, I called Teladoc, got a taper pack of methylprednisolone steroid, and the third day, yeah, it was helping. I mean, on the third day, I didn't feel great, but I felt, reasonably good. I was able to sleep and all that. Well, then on the fourth day, I had to drive back, and I was starting to feel it again. And on the fifth day, I think that's the 2 pill day. It was barely, impacting. And the last day, take the 1 pill, I was back where I started. And then the last few days, all of this week, I've been down. So basically, haven't done a lot. I do what I absolutely must do, and I do what I absolutely want to do, and nothing else. If it can wait, it waits. Um, if it's a bill that's due, I'll pay it. If it's a membership renewal, it's going to wait. And if I want to do something, if I really want to do it, and I feel okay, that's my second priority. If I'd like to do something, it's probably going to wait. And if it's just something that I need to do but don't have to do, it's not getting done. And I can tell you, this is a really good example right here. I've got on my desk right now, gotta go through all this crap. Oh, that's nothing. That's junk. But these are all letters, and I mean, there's bills, but nothing that's critically due at the moment. Various things, insurance, property tax stuff. And there's just, I haven't even opened these. These have been coming in all week. Just haven't felt good enough, So I've been laid up. I go upstairs and I get in my recliner and I put YouTube on and I watch YouTube videos, or maybe I'll pull the banjo out. I've done a lot of sleeping just during the day. There's been days where I've just laid up, 3 or 4 hours. Then I come downstairs and it's lunchtime or it's dinner, and that's been my life for the last week. So anyway, I am now starting back on the carnivore with the following plan: 1 week of carnivore. The only cheats I'm allowing myself are stevia sweetener and coffee. No dairy, no butter, which is going to be a huge problem for me in the next couple of days. I'm also back on indomethacin, which is an anti-inflammatory that worked really well for me for about 2 weeks, and then the side effects became overwhelming. Been on that. I had to stop because of the steroid dose, so I took it for a couple of days before the steroids, and then I got on the steroids and stopped taking it. And then the steroid last dose was Monday, so starting on Tuesday, I've been on a light dose of indomethacin with no appreciable improvement. In fact, today has really been the worst day of my life when it comes to RA and the pains that are involved. For me, I think it's ankylosing spondylitis and RA, but I don't have a lot of joint pain. I mean, I had a little bit of, my fingers are bothering me a little bit today. But one thing that I have been doing, since I can't do much else, is practicing on my banjo. I committed to 3 hours per day. I think I've done 10 hours in 4 days. So I've done well, but I'm behind today. I'm only about, actually, I don't think I even got all the hours in for yesterday. So I started today at 5 hours, and I think I might have reached about 3 hours remaining, which would include the time for today. So I don't think I'm gonna get to my 3 hours today, or two, or probably even one. But it is, the one thing that I can do, even when I'm half asleep. I can lay there and work on some rolls or whatever. But I am getting kind of tired of it. Like, it's just been too much. 3 hours a day every day it's just too much. And the fact that I don't feel well, so then if I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, I'm getting burnout. I'm just not going to do it. So I'm going to do this carnivore for 7 days only. I had a ribeye tonight. I had ribeye for lunch. I had ground ribeye. So basically, ribeye burgers, no cheese, of course, because I'm not doing dairy. I'm not going to touch dairy. And I was eating so much butter that I was sick of eating butter when I was doing carnivore previously, and I still was not getting enough fat content. I had the ribeye tonight, and I just could not eat the heaviest fat areas of the steak. It was just disgusting. I don't like the texture. I'm never going to be a lover of eating fat and steaks, although it was easier once I got kind of adjusted to it. But it still never got to the point that I craved it or enjoyed it. I just kind of forced myself. And fact of the matter is, I feel like shit. And if I feel like shit, the last thing I'm going to do is force myself to eat something that I've got an aversion to. So I'm going to have a real problem here in a couple of days trying to do carnivore and not being able to do dairy. No cheese, no butter. That's a huge, there's a lot of fat there, and I need fat. But what does work pretty well is I can put the ribeye in a grinder and turn it into hamburger. I can eat it all day that way. So I may just have to do a lot more ground ribeye and pick the ones with the most fat at the store than I do actual ribeye steaks. Now, tonight's steak was good, but a big problem that I've had with steaks has been consistency and good flavor. I would say at least 50% of the steaks I've had have been undesirable at best, and at worst, I've had two steaks that were bad. One was particularly bad, and I shouldn't have eaten it, but it had a little bit of graying in it, oxidation. But I've always read that don't worry about a little bit of gray in the steak because it's just normal. Well, I'll never do it again. I'll put it that way. So anyway, basically 1 week of carnivore, and then I'm going to go to ketovore. And if I start feeling bad on carnivore, straight carnivore, mainly because of low fat, also if my blood sugar gets out of whack, then I'm gonna, go ahead and let myself start having whatever from keto, whatever vegetables, trying to avoid at all costs dairy. We'll see how it goes. I don't have a lot of hope for it, but the biggest reason that I'm doing just straight carnivore for the week is it's the fastest way to get to feeling pretty well. I feel like if I could do 2 weeks of straight carnivore, I'd probably be 70% better. But I will then deal with the other issues of low blood sugar. So, yeah, I don't know. Combining indomethacin every day with carnivore only is also a problem because the feelings that I get from side effects from indomethacin are very similar to the feelings I get just from straight carnivore. I feel it right now. I feel a little bit dizzy. Just generally not a great feeling. It makes me just want to go and have a good, tasty, regular meal. Maybe some hibachi with some good old rice and some veggies and whatever else. But I've got to do something. I mean, I'm hurting tremendously, and I have no choice but to try to get in front of this. So that's my plan right now. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, I just wanted to update you guys on it. I know I've got some followers that are here for my carnivore journey. I wish I had better news that it was more tolerable for me than it is. Don't let it discourage you. I think it's very helpful. Unfortunately, in my particular case, I'm not tolerating it well, but that may not be the case for you. So I definitely am a strong supporter of trying carnivore, and I do believe it helps. All right, I'll catch you guys later on.